I can't hear that. Fucking goddamn it. Oh, use the GD word. Already not a good way to start a presidential speech. Get everything set up. Y'all know how it goes. God dang it. My headset is connected. At least it was to my ear. Yow. Yow, 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 yow. What's up? I hope everyone's having a good day today. We're about to roll a blunt. I've been thinking. Today, don't ever smoke tobacco. Tobacco is really bad for you. Get hemp wraps. Only reason why I'm smoking a cigarillo right now is because I can't afford any hemp wraps. Actually, that's a bold-faced lie. I could afford them. I just didn't want to drive the extra few minutes to go get them. I'm lazy. But if I was president, I wouldn't be, which brings me to my point. I want to discuss some things today. In hopes that this somehow awakens the minds of anyone who observes this video. It's always the point of blunt talks, is to open the mind. Always. It's never to shit on anything. That's a bold-faced lie. I'm going to shit on stuff all the time. But the main goal is to proprietate. Did I use that word right? Proprietate? Hold on a sec. Yo, Google, tell me what proprietate means. Property possession. Property or possession. So no, I did not use that right, but we're going to instill a sense of ownership over knowledge. There we go. We're going to proprietate knowledge. That is the point of blunt talks. Always. And also smoking the blunt. Obviously. So I'm busting this up, getting it on my grinder. Hope y'all, whoever's watching this, is doing the same. If not, don't feel bad. I'm not Mr. Slowburn from Mac and Devin Go to High School. I'm not gonna make you cut off the video just because you ain't smoking. But remember, it's good for your health, and well, smoking necessarily isn't good for your health in general, but smoking cannabis is significantly better for your health than smoking anything else. I mean, general use of cannabis is good for your health. So, remember, it's good for your health, and smoke one up later. You deserve it. Yeah, I'm busting more down. I want a fatty. Got some mimosa from my dispo. She is fucking dark purple. Dark. She's some dark bud. I'm not used to mimosa being this dark. I'm used to it being nice, brightly colored. It mimosa tends to have the purple splotches, the good stress splotches, but because it produces that high trichome resin yield, so most growers stress the fuck out of it to get all that THC that they know it can produce. This one is just like even beyond normal weed. It's like fucking perp. It's just dark. And it's got a fucking. This looks not that bad. This looks kind of nice. I wish I had a fucking better camera. Oh god, it's got that fucking. It's got this mimosa has like a almost like a cheesy smell to it, instead of a fruity mimosa-y smell. Bro, I'd shit bricks if I found a seed in this, bro. I'd be like, yes! Give me that mimosa, I want to grow it. We like dank seeds here, guys. We like dank seeds. If there's, if I buy a quarter, and there's a single seed in that bitch, and it's nice and mature, you best believe I'm gonna try to grow that motherfucker. Absolutely. Four seeds out of a whole ounce. And that's based on the mathematics of one seed to a quarter. It probably wouldn't even actually work out that way because of how seeding in plants works. It wouldn't be completely uniformly even like that. Neither is cannabinoid content, by the way, which is what makes batch testing so funny to me. But it's a representation, you guys. It's better than nothing. Rolling her up, rolling her up, rolling her up. I don't even gotta look, you guys. I don't even gotta look anymore. I just, my fingers, it's like muscle memory. Actually, I have to stop and look here because it's folding over, but there we go. I ain't even gotta look, guys. It's just muscle memory. My thumbs are like, bro, I can roll. I can roll anything, any time of the day. I just do it instinctively. It's like not even a thing. Look, watch. I don't want to spill any on my keyboard is the thing. That's why I stopped to look there for a second. Oh, I'm trying to flex on you guys. Give me a second. I look. See? Eye to eye. Eye to eye. I ain't even looking at the blunt, though. Don't need to. I know she's perfect. My thumbs know better. My thumbs know better, y'all. They just know. They just do the do. I don't gotta think about it. I don't gotta look down at it. I don't gotta check my work unless I'm trying to keep it from spilling everywhere. But bah. Just give it a nice little tongue lashing. You know, like you're working the outside of the labia. Or like you just pulled that vent hood back. And you lashing that clip. You give it a little bit of lashing. Smear it out. Smear it out. So that way whoever fucking gets a hold of the blunt doesn't have fucking spit. Just like fucking bleh all up in their mouth. And they're looking at you like, what the fuck, bro? That's nasty. Smear it out. Once you smear it all out and you got it on good and sealed, you bake that motherfucker. Bake that bitch at 90 degrees for 100 seconds. Bake that bitch at 350 for a minute and a half. Here's a lighter. Butane's not good for you guys. Get hemp wick. Hemp wick's the way to go. Don't even smoke cigarettes or other things with the lighter. Just light everything in your life with wick. Just do it. Put the fucking oil fields out of business. No. Slow burn. Slow burn. Did that not pick up at all? Wow. No, it did. Something ain't right. What's going on? How come I can't hear my own stream? Huh, you mother trucker? What's up with that? There we go. Much better. Alright, you guys. I know I look gorgeous without glasses, but I'm putting them back on because I'm self-conscious and I can't see anything. Need to get more contacts. This mimosa blunt tastes good, you guys. It tastes good. But so what I wanted to vibe on today, guys. I've been thinking about this like damn near all day. Of course, you know, like all my life too. Everybody thinks about this at least once, you know. When I am up on stage talking to fucking whichever moderator decides to be over my debate, what would I say? You know, what would anyone say when they get up on stage and they're asked the question, why should you be voted for? Why? What do you want to do as a president? Those are the two questions that that most people in that situation are probably gonna get asked 9 times out of 10 by every moderator, because they're the most impactful questions in a debate, I think, because they both directly go after a president's individual morals. It is a direct request to display their ethics, which is what anyone wants in a presidential debate, because Americans love drama. So, as anyone will know, whether you're American or not, our politics are pretty popular everywhere because of how stupid they are. America is divided into 3 main parties. Really 2 main parties and a single sub-party that is slowly gaining partisanship, gaining a foothold in actual politics, actual American politics. See, there's actually tons of political parties in America. It's not just Democrats and Republicans. There's tons, actually, but they don't have footing. They don't have support. They don't have mass voters. They don't have. So oftentimes, when the elections finally come around, all these other parties, they get, well, sidelined, more or less. They get taken out of the race pretty quickly, pretty easily. This is my fucking hair, dude. They get taken out of the summons pretty quickly, pretty easily. And now America is dominated by these 2 central parties. The third party I mentioned is starting to gain footing is called the Green Party. The liberalist party is not going anywhere. Let's just be frank. It's probably what many people thought I was going to say when I mentioned a third party, but I'm not talking about the liberalist party at all. There are tons of liberalist ideas that are fantastic. Freaking amazing. I'm smoking cannabis right now. That's a liberalist idea. It's not a conservative ideal. Cannabis is a liberal idea. Many conservatives will try to flip the script and insist that cannabis is actually incredibly conservative. But it's not. It is not. Even if it becomes a very conservative product for America, and that is the thing. I'll go into that a little bit later. Actually, I'm going to touch on it anecdotally, very briefly in it right now, where there are conservative and liberal products in America. Guns, for example, are a very conservative product in America. Oil is a very conservative product in America. They are products that have been tried and true and used massively by America for decades, and no one wants to change them. They want to conserve the way it is. These are conservative products. This is a liberal product. Green energy is a liberal product. Vaccines actually are a liberal product. A lot of scientific medicine and scientific advancements in medicine in the way of holistic healing are liberal products. There are tons of excellent researchers out there in the medicinal field discovering new things every day that are not related to pharmaceuticals in the typical sense that most people would think, that are extremely beneficial and helpful for you and healing you. They're discovered every day, like cannabis. and they are grossly undershadowed, or negative propaganda is widespread over them because of the conservative nature. The conservative nature is meant to preserve things how they are. It's a conservative nature. So obviously they're going to go hard about conserving things. And that's perfectly fine. Many people would call me a libtard because I'm an SJW. I actually go on Facebook and troll SJWs all the time because other SJWs, because it's fun. But I am in fact very much an SJW myself. And SJW is a term that is used connotatively bad, but denotatively it is what they are, and I think it's actually very good. Being an SJW, of course, you want to be a social justice warrior. Social justice is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Of course, you want to be a boomer. Being a boomer is a good thing. Boomers boom economy. Economy is boomed through conservative ideals as well. It doesn't need to be, but it is very well. Um, so most would probably call me extremely liberal because of how I feel about specific topics, but overall, I would actually submit myself as a very moderate conservative, incredibly moderate conservative. I believe we need to be bringing significantly more industry home. I believe we need to be arming our civilians to the teeth at that. The fundamental thing about guns is, and gun safety and gun control is, yes, in an ideal world, guns are incredibly unnecessary. The key point of that sentence is in an ideal world. We do not live in an ideal world at all. Ideal world. This is how it would look. It would start not from the bottom up, like Democrats are trying to do. It would start from the top down. You cannot demilitarize the American population until you demilitarize the American government, or a military, or all these things, for a lack of a better word. I'm going to use government. Until we demilitarize the government, we can't expect to demilitarize citizens. Why on earth would anyone think, hey, it's perfectly okay and safe for someone to be disarmed without a weapon, surrounded by authority that is armed to the teeth themselves. How is that fair? How is that in anyone's right mind expected? I can't fathom that. I genuinely can't fathom how anyone can expect that from somebody else. It is gross, it's disgusting, it's uncool, it's broaching totalitarianism, I believe. And that's the point. That's the problem with that. You can't demilitarize people who are under the authority of people who are militarized because they have no way to defend themselves if that authority decides to overstep their boundaries in any way. And currently, we have a system in place that is not actually checked and balanced, and it's very easy for our authority to overstep their boundaries. So no, we do not need to be demilitarizing Americans at all. If anything, we need to be arming them to the fucking teeth and giving them all nukes and bazookas. Maybe not nukes or bazookas. That's a joke. It's an exaggeration, but I don't see anything wrong with an American owning an AK-47 or an assault rifle, not an AK, because like I said, we're done outsourcing. But a good American-made assault rifle, I don't see anything wrong with an average American owning that. I don't see anything wrong with implementing gun safety at a very early age as well. There are tons of parents who do it with their children on their own at home all the time, and those kids are only more well equipped. There's no reason why we shouldn't be educating that on a scholastic level. There are 1.5 billion precautions that can be taken to implement that. I can fly them off the top of my head right now. But like use like lethal firearms. Teach children with non-lethal firearms. Teaching them like etiquette over actual gun handling before they get to gun handling in the early years of life. Implementing the importance of gun of gun etiquette, because that's really what it actually is it comes down to gun etiquette. A gun isn't something that should be joked around with. That's how accidents happen with guns. Guns themselves don't cause accidents. People using guns cause accidents with guns. That is period, point blank, unless it's like some defected firearm sitting in a hot place somewhere that magically happens to go off and shoot somebody. It's 100% always because of a person. And I use the word magically with a lot of emphasis because it would be freaking magic. Guns are safe, people are not. Teaching people at a very early age how important it is that this is taken seriously is the best way to assure further safety going into the later years when we move them into actual handling of a firearm. That's what I personally believe. Fucking give kids beanbag guns. That way if Johnny decides to turn and pop Jimmy in the eye for fucking dumbass, stupid, childish reason, Jimmy gets like a black eye. Or a welt on the back of his head. It would suck. It'd fucking hurt. Like, and that'd be terrible, but There's literally kids who are getting stomped out in schoolyards, and teachers and administrators are turning blind eyes to it all the time. It wouldn't be any different from what's already happening to kids every single day, getting bullied and abused. The only difference now is that you were teaching that whole class gun safety. Gun practice. And now, if John, wait, no, who shot who? If Jimmy, who shot John in the head or the eye, decides to ever come at him outside of school with a real firearm, Jimmy knows how to defend himself. See, or John knows how to defend himself. See what I mean? Felons. There are felons who honestly should not be barred from owning a firearm. That is condemning someone to being defenseless, essentially. That's not cool. Maybe violent offenders, but the general, if you're a felon thing, you can't own a firearm, that's bunk. There's people who are literally felons over cannabis. They should be able to own a firearm. Even someone who's a felon over like petty thievery, even to a certain extent, maybe after like a probationary period, even they should be able to own a gun again. And I'm sure there's probably already something like that in place, but it needs to be shorter than what it is. In the way of energy, I am non-conservative, but at the same time moderately conservative, because I believe we can have a new oil, we can have a new big gas in the form of a renewable energy resource. America can have its money making gross resource in a different form. And if anyone tries to come jack with renewable energy like they are with petroleum right now, man, America can fucking take up guns about it, bro, because not everybody has guns. And then Black Lives Matter. There's that too, dude. Like, fuck. Y'all are being ridiculous. Just understand. Like, it's that simple. Like, these people have been oppressed for literally centuries. Centuries. And I hear fucking people try to make the argument that I'm not making this up. Like, y'all know I'm not making this up. Y'all probably seen it yourselves online. It's fucking the most the most dumbest thing in the world. Correction. The most dumbest thing in the world. And that is that the English slave trade was okay because they were already practicing tribal slavery. So what you're telling me is that you pull these people out the frying pan and then threw them into a fire. And you think that's justification. Okay. They've been oppressed for centuries. Black on black crime is the thing too. Like, so they've been oppressed. They're oppressing themselves. They need relief. They need other people to understand and pay attention to this. They deserve it inherently. It's not about not seeing color. It is about seeing color and respecting it. Anyways, you can't. I don't want to speak for other people, yo. Like, this is my opinion at the end of the day, but I think it's pretty fucking valid. Like, you can't walk around acting like anyone is different from you. Period. And that is not a reason to not incentivize fuck it, to incentivize black people. It's not, you can't, like, literally, like, fucking you can't use "we are all the same, we need to love everybody" as a reason to ignore people. You have to use it as a reason to be wanting to show special attention to someone. That's why Black Lives Matter is essentially parenting 101. When you have a sick kid, you treat your sick kid. The shitty parent in that situation gives the healthy kid something as well to make it fair, quote unquote. That's bullshit. That is teaching unfair fundamentals to your children. And it is exactly what is going on in America right now with this practical race war. Yes, there are tons of other demographics that are being abused and mistreated every day, especially most immigrants. But centuries, like, it's unfathomable, truly unfathomable. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with expecting the future to change and to no longer be like that. And that is literally all they want, as well as maybe a little penance. And the fucking people sitting on Capitol Hill right now are all old enough to offer that. So don't let them try to hit you with the fucking I'm not my ancestors thing. No, most of them fucking are. They're old enough. They were living in that time to do some fucking racist ass shit. Including Joe Biden, which, better than Trump by leaps and bounds, but fuck. Kamala Harris is running the office, you guys. That's a fact. That is a fact. It's not Joe Biden. And that's cool. It's cool as fuck. It's like we might as well have gotten our first black female president instead of vice president, but That's cool too. Hopefully Biden kicks the bucket in the next 4 years. That's fucked up. I'm sorry, Biden. I don't want you to just outright die. That's not true. But maybe you have to like retire because of like I don't know reasons. You go take your little Bahama trip and let Kamala do it. Please. um, but capitalism. That's not a thing of capitalism. Capitalism is not bad at all. Just like communism isn't bad at all. Socialism isn't bad at all. Communism is very bad. But socialism is not bad at all. The principles on paper of capitalism, which can lead to totalitarianism. High tongue, blunt tongue. Sorry. And socialism, which can lead to communism, are both principles that are excellent on paper and in their sole purposes remaining practical are excellent. They both are. What they can lead to, of course, are both bad. That is literally with anything at all. That is how things work. Just they don't want to think about the other direction, though. How good capitalism can be, or how good socialism can possibly be. The issue is that humans can't be trusted. That's the bottom line with that. With either. Socialism on principle is excellent. But it requires an intense amount of morality to work. Same with capitalism. As we're seeing now in the United States, capitalism can also take some very nasty and dark turns, just like socialism can. Capitalism is something else that required a high amount of morality to work. Capitalism functions ideally top to bottom, not bottom to top the way it is right now in America. When you go to work, 9 times out of 10 you're with like a dog. And I'm not saying there aren't amazing bosses or amazing places to work. I work at an amazing fucking place right now with amazing bosses. They certainly don't whip me like a dog, but it is very clear. In fact, they're actually very awesome. But this isn't a U4. This isn't a work at U4 review. They are. It's very clear, though, the intentions. At the very least, my immediate supervisors. that it's bottom to top instead of top down. That's the best way to phrase it, because if I say something like authoritarian, that creates a totally wrong picture as well, though, because they're not even super necessarily very authoritarian. But you can tell they're very hesitant when it comes to their supervisors. My immediate supervisors are very hesitant when it comes to their supervisors, and so on and so on and so on. That's bad capitalism, in a nutshell. So, in an ideal world, capitalism works like this. It works top down for many reasons. One, a lower turnover rate. Two, a healthier work environment, which includes significantly less of the problems we're seeing all over the place, like nepotism and sexual abuse, harassment, etc. Significantly more advancements to grow, and just generally a higher integrity business. And it looks like this when, instead of you going into work and you being so under thumb, you're significantly more fully equipped. And that is because you have taken the time to ask questions, and you have been practically waded through your training like a baby. That is really good. Many people would think that is outrageous, you know. Why pay someone who isn't already equipped? But you can't. Even if someone, like, we're gonna scrape the bottom of the barrel here, guys. You can't expect someone who's worked at 4 fast food restaurants to know exactly how yours operates. Even if you're a franchise and he's worked at 3 fucking McDonald's before and he's applying to your McDonald's, you still cannot expect him to 100% know exactly how your store works, especially with the chain of command being different everywhere, attitudes being different everywhere, etc. Because a job is a lot more than what meets the eye. It always is a lot more than what meets the eye, because, like I said, Americans are dramatic. You, in an ideal top down, an owner opens a business in their mind not to get money, but to provide money back out. You see what I'm saying? The more a business does business, the better it is for the entire community as a whole. That is why an owner opens a business. Ideally, if you're opening a business, there's a very large stake that can go belly up pretty easily. You have the money to be taking care of your family, and you probably have quite a bit of money for luxuries as well. Your mindset going into opening that business needs to be giving back to your community, not trying to make ever so more money. That is where capitalism fails, and it is also the mentality that is expected in socialism: a give back, a give back, a give and take, not just a take. And unfortunately, that is why they both end up failing, like I said, because you can't trust humans. When an owner opens a business for the sole purpose of the idea of giving back to his community, that opens up things like productive growth literally in his own infrastructure. I am here to make money for my community, to create jobs for people in my community who need them, to further better my community, to further make more money for my community, to further improve my overall community. But humans, even we want. And it goes top down, like I said, over and over again. The managerial structure is so much firmer when supervisors are, in a sense, there for the people beneath them instead of the other way around. An owner opens a business to give back to the community and to give people jobs to help him better his community. A manager manages a store to further promote that entire well-being, that entire homeostasis. Because there needs to be infrastructure and authority. There does need to be that to a certain degree. Otherwise, things won't get done. There needs to be leadership and responsibility. But that's another thing too, is in these situations you're encouraging workers and managers, and they want to be responsible for you. That's another thing too, is this is all like, it all comes down to people, and you just can't trust people, which is why neither of them will never work. But I am unsure which would be easier to navigate towards, a more dominantly socialist structure, or to try to rework our current capitalist structure. But one of the two needs to get done. We just go back to a gold standard. That was really, or trading, bartering. Bartering is a very nice standard, like an incredibly nice standard, actually. Legal bartering. And it encourages active growth in your community too. People can't just get a bunch of money and then go sit on their ass. If they want things, they have to continue to grow and keep the community growing by doing something, by providing something to the rest of the community in order to get goods they need from the rest of the community. The barter system is excellent. It really is an excellent system that we deviated away from for the purpose of trying to pursue capitalism, and then capitalism, like I said, got fucked up. But workers in that top-down scenario are a lot healthier as well mentally, and they want to do better work for you. You don't need a $15 minimum wage raise. I'm envisioning that in my head. I'm like, okay, so if I came to work and I got paid $15 a month, that'd be wicked, right? That is so much extra money. But I know, we know how it works. It's only literally a matter of time before everyone else takes advantage of how much money everyone else is now making and raises prices on things. So you're not getting any more money actually now. You're literally just leveled yourself back out. If anything, if they're really sneaky, maybe even at a net loss by a few bucks. So raising the minimum wage is not good. We just need to restructure how our current capitalist system works without affecting those specific variables that have kept them solid for so long, like a standard pay wage, and things like that. I don't see what's so hard about it, to be honest with you. I think I'm gonna eat something and then play Alien Isolation. Yeah, that's like a good idea. After I roll another blunt. It's my belly. I'm fat. Not really. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm gonna fucking eat something. I am so hungry.